of a Photoshop job, but then the
But
internet
they
and
did!
my family proved me wrong.
Oh
I started
no!
getting phone calls from my parents, and even my book agent rang me up and was like, "Did you actually get that tattoo?"
Oh
No,
my
it's not
god!
real.
Hey guys, my name's Dan, and this reaction comes from the Odd Ones Out. This is my thoughts on tattoos. Now, my thought on tattoos is I've always wanted one, but I've always been a little hesitant on it because, you know, my anxiety kind of ramps up. It's like, oh, well, what if they do this wrong? Oh, what if I don't like it? Oh, what if this? What if that? Because just catastrophizing that sort of situation, because obviously tattoos are a bit hard and a bit painful to remove, so you have to be sure on what you want, where you want it, and who you want to do it, and hopefully they don't mess it up, because that's a process that I wouldn't wish on anybody to get removed. Or maybe they could cover it up, but that could also be an issue as well. But before we get into this, though, please check all those links I have for you down in the description below. More specifically, the Odd Ones Out link, if you haven't already. It's a great way to support them, and a great and easy way to support me is to go right below this video and click all those buttons down there, because not only will you see future reactions that I do, but I'll also help my channel to grow. And without any further ado, let's go.
This is a little social interaction life hack I've discovered. If you're meeting
Oh.
someone new and you want to get to know them better, and you see
Sure.
any semblance of a tattoo peeking out of their sleeve, compliment it. If that person doesn't want to talk about their tattoos, they'll say, "Oh, thank you." Anyway, this is my stop. But if they do want to talk about their tattoos, their face will light up, and then they'll do the rest of the talking. I realize that by giving you this advice, now anytime I compliment someone else's tattoos, it will seem disingenuous, but it's not most of the time. I love
my
all of
god!
your tattoos. That's right, I'm talking to you.
Oh, well, I don't have a tattoo, but thanks.
Your tattoos, dude. Whether it's how you got the tattoo, the meaning behind the tattoo, or being a tattoo of something you like, every tattoo is a story. And most people love telling stories about themselves. I wouldn't know anything about that personally.
Oh, no, not him, no.
Some people liked talking about their tattoos until I got one of my own. What, you think I want to make a whole video about tattoos when I didn't even have any? That's right, I'm a marked man, Mom. What are you going to do about it? Stop unconditionally loving me? Yeah, right. Wait, what are you doing with that cheese grater?
Oh,
Okay,
no, don't use the cheese grater on the
Can you make sure Grandma doesn't see this video, Mom? I don't want to upset her on the way out. Back in the day, tattoos used to be a symbol of rebellion and meant you couldn't get a job. No regrets, baby! But I feel like tattoos are getting more and more accepted, if not expected. I'll see a jacked, bald guy covered in tattoos and think, okay, yeah, he was meant to look like that. For me, the idea of being a badass tattooed guy with a sketch pad and a beanie and ripped jeans and a beaded brace.
Oh, I love the fact that he's going with this. It kind of looks like a Sims character.
Always seemed cool to me. But like most people, when it came to tattoos, I had reservations. Ooh, this is gonna be on my body forever?
Forever?
What if I hate it? I had the of getting these 5 Magic the Gathering symbols tattooed on my forearm. I even dotted them out in Sharpie once just to give them a test drive. But I ultimately decided not to get them because I was worried in 5 years I would go, oh, these? I was really into Magic the Gathering in my 20s. Not anymore, though, so now every morning I wake up with impending feelings of shame and remorse that I even decided to get this thing.
Oh,
I didn't want that to happen, even though I've been playing Magic for over 15 years, and it means a lot to me, and I'm going to be buried with my sliver deck, and... Alright, maybe I should just get it. Even though
you probably should.
That tattoos are permanent, there are still way more bad tattoos than there should be. One time, I saw this picture of someone's tattoo on a bad tattoo subreddit, and I thought it'd be funny to prank my family group chat by photoshopping that tattoo onto my arm. And then I thought it'd be funny to post that picture onto Instagram. I didn't think anyone would fall for this poor excuse of a Photoshop job, but then the internet and my family proved me wrong.
Oh,
I started getting phone calls from my parents, and even my book agent rang me up and was like, "Did you actually get that tattoo?"
Oh
no,
my
it's
god!
not a real tattoo. I mean, it is a real tattoo, but it's on someone else's body. That's their cross to bear. I can only imagine what that person's family and book agent went through. My parents were not supportive of me getting tattoos. But whose are, am I right? Some people, like my parents, say that your body is like a temple, and getting tattoos is like putting graffiti on it. Which, sure, okay, that's why I paid a professional graffiti artist to paint my temple exactly how I wanted. Also, you can't tell me not to deform my body when that's exactly what you did before I was even 24 hours old. Also, Jesus had piercings, and he loves showing them off to his buddies, so I think he'd be chill with a little tattoo.
Those aren't the normal types of, Okay, moving on.
After much thought and deliberation, I finally settled on what my first tattoo would be. This was going to be permanently inked onto my body for the rest of my life. I got a tattoo.
What?
The courier knew. Luckily,
Why?
the artist was able to finish this in one session. It took quite a while, almost 5 whole minutes. Now let me explain why I got it. It was so that if anyone ever asked me, do you have any tattoos? I could go, why, yes, I do. And then roll up my sleeve, and then I'd go, ha, ha, ha. When I showed off my tattoo on Jaiden's Streamathon, there was one comment that said, James having tattoo actually tattooed onto him is exactly the kind of tattoo I expected James to have. It made me feel really good because that meant the tattoo fit my vibe. And the second reason I got the tattoo was because I wanted to rebel. Since tattoos were frowned upon growing up, I wanted to have one just to have one. So I got a tattoo with no meaning whatsoever, which, in a way, is the meaning. Even though the tattoo was small and usually covered up by my sleeve, I still felt anxious about getting it. And I continued to feel that way for about a week after I got it. It was a jump scare every time I saw it in the mirror, and I would look at it closely and go, yep, that's really in there. I sure hope I don't regret this. But then, after some time, the tattoo just became a part of me. Like, I didn't look in the mirror and go, yep, there's James and tattoo. I would go, yep,
there's James.
There's James.
That's good for you.
Stop. And from that day on, I loved giving people advice on tattoos. As a marked man myself, I think you should absolutely get that Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh my god, look at that thing.
Remember? What? You're worried that it's going to look bad when you're 70? Yeah, it's going to look bad when you're 70.
Of course it will.
You're 70. Don't think about how bad it's going to look.
Yeah, and the fact that, like, if you don't have a tattoo, that's gonna look bad anyway if at that age.
Think about how much you're going to enjoy it from now to when you're 69. I've known people my age who still hide their tattoos from their parents, but like the honest prodigal son that I am, I wasn't going to be doing that. But the next time I visited my parents, I walked into their house, and the very first thing my mom said to me was, "Do you have any tattoos?" She beat me to the punch.
Yes, I do!
What? Why would you ask that? Because last night, I had a dream that you came home and were covered in tattoos. So, which one of you incepted my mom?
Not me!
God? I said,
maybe.
Are all tattoos bad? Yes, all of them are bad. Even this one. And I rolled up my sleeve and revealed my massive tat. And her reaction was, well, it's not the worst word to have permanently inked on your body. Later on, she said, if you go to a Star Wars party, you could change it to Tatooine. So, I think she took it pretty goodly. Now, some of you might be thinking that my epic sleeve of a tattoo isn't that big a deal. It's tiny and can only be seen if I'm swimming or boxing or wearing a tank top. But you see, after getting tattooed, I experienced what people in the tattooing business call catching the bug. After seeing how much I liked my first tattoo and knowing that I could handle having a tattoo, I was ready to get something badass. I set up a big boy tattoo appointment with an artist I like, and when I was in the tattoo shop, the artist asked, "Is this your first tattoo?" "Is this my first tattoo?" No, sweetheart. I think I know a thing or two about tattoos. So, without further ado, I would like to debut this out of the blue tattoo.
Oh, damn, look at that!
You know, from the Dark Crystal, the Jim Henson's puppet movie that that I did a video on it years ago. Now I have
Sure.
the best character permanently.
That is so awesome. Look at all of that detail, dude. And I love everything about it, even though I'm not a big fan of this movie. That looks cool.
Inked onto my skin forever and ever. That movie will always hold a special place in my heart, and now it'll hold a special place under my skin. And now, whenever I show someone the Chamberlain, we end up talking about the Dark Crystal, which is great because that's what I wanted to talk about anyways. I think I just discovered an autistic conversational cheat code. When I was getting it done, the artist asked me if there were any other tattoos that I wanted to get, and I said, why, yes I do. I wanted to get the computer from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, because I also love that series, and because I'm a computery guy. And I didn't realize until as I was explaining it to the artist that both of these characters are puppets. So I don't know what that says about my psyche. I never thought that I liked puppets that much. But if anyone wants to psychoanalyze me in the comments, that'd be great.
No,
and speaking of YouTube comments, I know a lot of people are going to bring this up, so I'm just going to address it right now. You probably noticed that Chamberlain isn't holding his iconic triangle scepter. Yeah, I already know that. That's because he's holding the Emperor's scepter. It's like my own little headcanon. He got to be the Emperor because he's cool and awesome. And come on, Dark Crystal fans. You think I don't know my lore? I didn't get the wrong scepter or anything. You think I'd get something wrong about the Dark Crystal? Okay, you want to know what happened? I own a Chamberlain statue because, of course, I do, and I took pictures of it to send as a reference image to the artist, and I totally forgot that I accidentally broke off his triangle scepter, and now he's holding an entirely different scepter on the tattoo. But you know what? I don't care. This one's better. It's a more clear silhouette. Now, this time when I went to show my parents the tattoo, I don't know exactly what I was hoping for, but I wanted to see some dramatic pearl crushing. You know, just some real disappointment. Chamberlain had to be split up into 2 sessions, and I only got one done when I went to Arizona for a wedding. I saw my mom, and she didn't immediately ask me if I had any more tattoos. God didn't tattle on me this time.
Good.
I told her, Mom, I gotta tell you something, privately. What is it? I need you to keep a secret from Grandma. Okay. I'm serious. Grandma can't find out about this. Okay. Look, it's Chamberlain. And I showed her the unfinished tattoo, and she went, oh, do you even like the Dark Crystal that much? I mean, yeah, the plot's kind of mid, but it's a cool world. Why were you more upset about my fake Baby Yoda tattoo than my real Dark Crystal tattoo? She didn't care, and neither did my dad. And you know what? I actually showed my grandma too, and she liked it. I can't make these people mad no matter what I do. One of my cousins is a tattoo artist, and I was talking to him about tattoos, and my mom said, oh, you should get your cousin to finish it. And even he said, do not do that. Speaking of tattoo advice, if you're thinking about getting a tattoo, I think you should wait. Obviously, it's your body, your choice. But with the minimum age of tattoos being 18, and in some states 16 with parents' permission, I just can't imagine being happy with any tattoos 16-year-old James could think of.
That's fair.
Is that I'm glad I waited and gave myself time to really know if this is what I wanted. And it was. I know you're young and you want to look as hardcore as possible, but you can still get a tattoo when you're like 23 and it'll look good. Trust me. No matter what tattoo you get, it's a way to express outwardly to the world what you like, what you want to remember, and who you are. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm about to get a full back piece of my grandma's face.
Oh my God!
My family wouldn't love that. Thank you all.
Oh my God. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. As I said at the beginning of the video, I've always wanted to get a tattoo, but anxiety always creeps up every time I think about it. I try to figure out, what would I want to get? Okay, maybe my favorite anime character, my favorite comic book character, or favorite this, favorite that. And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, cool, that would be great. But I mean, I have so many ideas, and I can't focus on just like one. I would have to, even come up with a design to bring it all together, and I'm not very good at drawing, so that's kind of hard for me to do. And again, you see my sort of brain working here, the anxiety just sort of ramping up as I talk about it. I mean, I certainly would love to get one day, but I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon. So that's going to do it for me here. Comment down below. Let me know, what did you think about his thoughts on tattoos? Please leave a like if you enjoyed. But check all those links I have for you down in the description below. Then lastly and most importantly, I want to give a huge shout out to all my $5 and over supporters on Patreon. Cruising, Wolverine310, Kester Cronage, Joseph McSweeney, Amber K, Raymond Bright, Chris Curtis, Haley Machinardi, Ann Perry, Lorca, Voss Cacophony, Misa2, Lily the Snoopy Fan, Lauren, Jenny the Swifty, Fleet Street Vicomte, Christopher Banyard, Emily the Flower Lover, Steffi, Songbird177, Sophie the Sunset Girl, Summer the Dog Lover, Scott, Misa3, Arrow Hamster, Inca Linquist, ZK Stuff, Aubrey the Charlie Brown Lover, Lee Harris, Chris Chapin, and Thomas Shawanowit. And if you too like to have a shout out at the end of each every one of my videos, please head over to patreon.com/TheOdd1sOut for more. And I'll see you guys next time.